You're standing in a house you want to buy. You've saved, you've waited, you've done everything right. And then you lose the bid again. Not to a family, not to a neighbor, to an entity. An LLC with no name you recognize, no face attached to it, and more capital than you'll earn in the next 40 years. January 20th, 2026. Trump signs the executive order. Wall Street is banned from buying your house. Markets react instantly. Blackstone drops 9% in a single day. 3 months later, rents are still rising, inventory is still gone, and Blackstone's rental arm is still expanding. So what actually happened to the ban? Stay with me, because in the next 14 minutes, you're going to see the exact bill text, the capital flows, and the market design that explain why the system never actually stopped. Let's start with your morning. You open Zillow, maybe Redfin, same 12 listings you saw last week. Half are already pending. Sold, over, type, in cash, already pending. One went for $40,000 over asking in 72 hours. You do the math again. That's $27,600 a year. You scroll past another apartment listing, $2,300 a month. Sunbelt City, mid-tier neighborhood, nothing special. That's $27,600 a year. Going somewhere, building something for someone, just not for you. And somewhere, a portfolio manager refreshes a dashboard and sees that same $2,300 hit a ledger. You close the app. You go to work. That's the world you're living in, and most people don't fully realize when they entered it. Go back to 2008. The market collapses. Families lose everything. Foreclosure signs go up across entire neighborhoods. But institutional capital had cash and a strategy. Blackstone moved first and moved fast. They bought tens of thousands of distressed single-family homes at the bottom and built a company called Invitation Homes. Now roughly 80,000 rentals spread across the Sunbelt. Think about that number for a second. One $200 rent increase across 80,000 homes equals $192 million in additional annual revenue from a spreadsheet adjustment. From a spreadsheet adjustment, that's not a landlord, that's a financial mechanism that happens to sit in your neighborhood, on your street, next door. BlackRock and Blackstone, people confuse them constantly. They are different firms. So when your 401k sits in a broad market index fund, and odds are it does, a slice of your retirement is quietly benefiting every time your neighbor writes a rent check to Invitation Homes. You are, in a very real sense, on both sides of this trade. Comment right now. Did your rent go up this year? Drop the city and the dollar amount below. Trump signs the executive order, day 1. For the first time in years, it looks like the rules might actually shift. Blackstone's stock craters 9%. Data backs up the concern. In some zip codes, institutional buyers were capturing 20 to 30% of available homes for sale, not nationally, but locally, in the exact markets where affordability was already collapsing. The order was real, the enforcement mechanism was not. Executive orders direct agencies, they don't create automatic legal penalties. The real teeth were always supposed to come from legislation, a bipartisan bill to give the order actual force of law. And that bill has holes in it big enough to drive a fleet of rental trucks through. March 2026, the Senate passes it. On paper, any entity holding 100 or more single-family homes is banned from purchasing additional properties. Sounds clean. First, build-to-rent communities are carved out entirely. Second, the incentive structure rewards entity restructuring. Third, renovation carve-outs create a clean acquisition playbook. Build-to-rent communities are carved out entirely. These are new subdivisions that never hit the open market in the first place. They're constructed, owned, and rented by institutional players from day one. Invitation Homes saw this coming. Weeks after the executive order was signed, they quietly acquired a major build-to-rent operator. They didn't fight the ban, they built around it. The incentive structure rewards entity restructuring. Large portfolios get split into LLCs and joint ventures, each one staying just under the 100-home threshold. Standard capital flow architecture, nothing illegal, nothing loud. Buy distressed, label it rehabilitation, hold it outside the restriction, stabilize it as a rental, hold forever. They don't need to defeat the system, they just need to operate inside it better than anyone else. Comment if you tried to buy a house in the last 12 months, drop your city and what actually happened. Phoenix, Atlanta, Tampa, Dallas, Charlotte. Pension funds need yield. Insurance companies need stable, long-duration assets. Endowments need inflation hedges. Single-family rental housing checks every box. The capital doesn't disappear, it reroutes. So even if Blackstone stopped tomorrow, which they won't, the capital doesn't disappear, it reroutes. Into the next fund, the next structure, the next build-to-rent operator with a different name and the same strategy. That's not a conspiracy. That's just how capital works when housing becomes an asset class. Institutional single-family rentals in Sunbelt markets are averaging $2,100 to $2,400 a month right now. That's $25,000 to $29,000 a year, every year, flowing to a portfolio. And you keep writing a check. A mortgage on that same house at current rates builds equity every single month. Month 1, month 12, month 144. Renting, you stay exactly where you started financially. Owning, you accumulate an asset that compounds over decades. The gap isn't the payment, it's the destination. And when institutional capital controls enough of the rental supply in a market, when they set the floor on rents, that destination keeps moving further away from you. Look, institutional investors are not the only reason housing is unaffordable. Anyone who tells you that is selling you a simpler story than reality. Zoning restrictions, chronic underbuilding since 2008, elevated interest rates, lumber and labor costs, NIMBYism at the local level. All of it is real, all of it matters. A traditional landlord, a local one, a human one, has reputational and relational pressure to keep rents reasonable. They live in the community, they know the tenants. A portfolio manager optimizing a rent roll for a pension fund in Oslo has one variable: return on capital. That's not malice. It's just a different set of incentives operating at massive scale. The agency rulemaking process, the quiet bureaucratic layer underneath legislation, is where the real moves are being made in 2026. Definitions are being written, thresholds are being set, carve-outs are being negotiated, and the firms with the most sophisticated government affairs operations will shape those definitions better than anyone else. That's where this story goes next, because what happens next is already being built right now. The exact markets these firms are building out right now in 2026 that almost nobody is talking about yet. Let's go back to that house, the one you were standing in.
Now you know what you were competing against. Not a buyer with more ambition. Not someone who worked harder. A capital structure with a lower cost of financing, a longer time horizon, and zero emotional stake in whether you win or lose. The executive order was signed. The bill passed. The headlines declared victory. And the mechanism kept running. If this video connected the dots for you, the order, the loopholes, the capital flows, the quiet rulemaking, smash like right now. It genuinely moves this in the algorithm. Drop your city plus the words rent trap in the comments if you're done watching Wall Street turn the American dream into a dividend machine. Share this with someone who needs to understand how the system actually works. Not the headline version, the real version. Subscribe and hit the bell. Next week, I'm dropping the follow-up. The exact markets these firms are building out right now in 2026 that almost nobody is talking about yet. You do not want to miss it. This is your financial future. See you in the next